Okay, this is Ringwalk Media in association with Redline Specialist Cars, Highland Whisky Clan and the Glove Box Management. The voice of boxing, he's been busy today. Mr. Adam Smith, how are you, sir?
I've been busy. I've just been doing an interview and they said maybe I should get a bed here for the next 48
Adam Smith
hours.
Suite in Wembley.
I don't know about that, but I live only a few minutes away from here. I'm here most of the next 48 hours. I'm sure my wife and family won't want me to sleep here, but if you put a bed in the corner, I quite happily do that. I'm so excited about Saturday night. I'm so glad to be healthy again. I'm so honoured that DAZN have given me the opportunity to call a fight like this. And it's two guys I know well, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I could easily just kip on the carpet here on the floor, and I'd be happy.
Do you know what I'm happy about? The fact that maybe a year or so ago, you weren't like this. You were struggling, and you know you've come so far. We had an interview very soon after you came back. I'm so pleased to see that boxing's getting your knowledge and your enthusiasm back again, because everyone benefits. So great to see.
I really appreciate that. It's been my life since I was a little kid, since I watched Tommy Hearns, since I wanted to be a commentator, and Sky made those dreams come true. And I had a cruel hit with cancer, which I gave me a different perspective. I was lucky to get through it, and I'm very, very grateful of my days now. And I think I take every time I pick up a mic now. I'm very thankful for the opportunities. I respect fighters probably more than I ever have, and without them we wouldn't be here. So I'm very grateful to my doctors to have got me here, and I'm very grateful to you guys for helping me come back and live it again. So it's nice to do it a second time round.
Well, listen, you've been speaking for hours about this main event. Okay, I have a little perspective. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works.
Sure.
If I was Daniel Dubois, I would be a Louis Edmondson fan, because he's got to fight Daniel Lapin, who of course is very, very close to Alexander Usyk, trains with him, etc., etc.
Yeah.
He walks back in that changing room having getting beat by Louis Edmondson. That's going to change the mood in that changing room.
That's a great point. I've been in Gandia for a few days alongside both Daniel and Alexander. They are super tight.
Yep.
That ready-to-fight team is very close, and that would be a real problem for them, I think, if Daniel loses. So, Louis Edmondson has they both got a great chance. It's a battle of the unbeatens there.
It is.
A very interesting fight. And I think that is, psychologically, not a lot gets to Alexander Usyk, right? They're not going to win any games here. I mean,
No.
Don Charles and his son George Fox tried it a few weeks ago, but nothing's going to rattle Usyk. But maybe, that's a good point, maybe a Daniel Lapin loss on Saturday night might just affect the mood, the camp, the team. I'm sure that Usyk is, professional and business enough for it not to let it get to him, but that would be interesting, and we'll only know on Saturday.
Yeah, well, we'll come back to that fight in a minute, but of course, main event is the winner takes all. It's one of those fights where we have no idea who's going to win. My personal opinion is I think it will be quick, but it's a spectacle that the world needs to see.
It certainly is. I mean, Alexander Usyk has etched his name in history forever. He doesn't need to fight again for what he's done for Ukraine, for the world. He loves England. It's his second home. We love having him here. He's just a joy, and every time he laces them up, it's another pleasure. So he's got nothing to prove to anyone. But he is very good in rematches, and he loves to prove things to himself. And that three has been going up for a number of weeks now, and that's what he wants to be. He wants to be the undisputed for the third time. He wants to give his little daughter Maria a gift, his fourth child. So I think Alexander is as ready as he'll ever be. But it's intriguing because we don't know what to expect from Daniel Dubois. We didn't expect what we got last September. I think very few thought the manner of victory against Anthony Joshua would be like that outside of his team. And he was brilliant. And he was brilliant because he was tunnel visioned, and he would not be denied. And he needs to have that same mentality going in on Saturday night, I believe. And I think he's got to get off to a great start. And I think the great start happens by trying to get centre ring and pump out that jab and doubling it up and trying to rattle Usyk's rhythm if he can, because if Usyk gets into a rhythm, it's over, I think. It'll be very interesting those first 3 or 4 rounds. Daniel Dubois not without a chance because he's in great form. He's got an amazing armoury. He's got a great team around him. but he's not Alexander Usyk, and Usyk is the elite of the elites. I don't see any sign of decline. I certainly didn't see it in the Fury second fight. If anything, he was getting better. He's only had 23 professional fights, and
Exactly.
a lot of people are saying that. They're looking at his age. So my mum always tells me age is just a number. I think with Usyk it really is. His numbers have been phenomenal in training, better than ever. I think it's a hard fight for Daniel Dubois. But yeah, look, Frank believes in his man. He'll probably never have a better chance on home soil with Usyk at this stage of his career. So he could win it, but I'm not sure he will.
Well, let's talk about a good friend of ours, Joe Parker.
Yeah.
Frustrated. We saw him earlier. He should be, in effect, in the ring there with one of them.
He should.
What happens with Joe? Because there's so many options for the two guys that are in the ring this weekend. I mean, Joe's earned his place there, but it doesn't seem like he's getting that bite of the cherry at the moment.
No, I mean, he's cutting the most frustrating figure, and Joe's such a lovely guy and so amiable, isn't he? But you just sensed an edge to him today. He's putting the music videos out, which everyone loves, and we all adore Joe Parker and the whole story with Andy Lee. But ultimately, it doesn't pay the bills, and it doesn't get him the fights he wants. I think if he'd beaten Dubois in February, it would have been different. But that fight not happening, I'm not saying he would have done, it was a great fight, but I think that not happening and the sort of Martin Bacoli 48-hour strange oddity that happened, I think all Joe could do was get through that and bang on the door again. So Spencer Brown's got a big job, as has Frank Warren. I think they've got to get him fighting again in September, against who I don't think it really matters, whether it's a Dave Allen or it's a Ajit Kabayel or it's one of these guys. It doesn't really matter. He's got to fight in September or October. That's key. And maybe even have 2 fights before the year's out. But he will get his chance. Joe's not old, and he deserves it. And I think he'll be very frustrated on Saturday night watching it. He believes Usyk's going to win. He loved that shot at Usyk. I'd like to see Alexander fight one more time after Saturday night, and I'd like to see him fight in Ukraine if it was possible, in any way, shape or form. Maybe Joe will never get that chance against Usyk, but he'll get a chance. He'll get a chance to fight for the undisputed title, I'm sure, or a couple of the belts, maybe if it fragments. But Joe will get his chance. He's just got to be patient, and he maybe had his career a strange way around, a little bit like Hughie Fury. It's been a career where maybe he was a bit immature before, and now he's very mature, and he's got to be patient because he's had such a great run in the sort of comeback since the Joe Joyce defeat that he's just got to stick in there. But I don't like his inactivity, so he needs to fight within the next 2 months.
Well, fingers crossed that happens for him.
Sure.
Right, a couple of fights on the undercard.
Yeah.
Let's start at the beginning. James Francis.
Yeah, I like James.
He's going in against an Olympian.
Yep.
He has nothing to lose. It's an amazing story, from a care home to Wembley Stadium.
Yep.
He himself is so pleased to be here, but he's very, very focused, and this could be an upset to start the night.
Could be a big upset. You know, he's 7-1. He's a very good young fighter himself, and there's some good matches on the card. People are looking at the undercard saying, well, it's not maybe what it could have been, maybe what it needs to be with such a big main event. But I think there's some really interesting fights on the card. I think that's a really interesting one to kick us off. Adam Hamadian may be a bit more of an exhibition, but then you're looking at some really good fights. The Lapin Edmondson fight we touched on is a really good fight, as is Lawrence Sokoli and Kevin Lorena. So there's some really good fights on the card. James has got an opportunity. I spoke to him before, and he's got nothing to lose. He probably thinks he's been overlooked a bit. He's been chucked in with a guy they expect to be a big name in the sport, and he's got a big chance here. It's a short fight, and it's a big stadium. So let's see.
It's pretty big, isn't it? Louis Edmondson. So British title. He's got it all around. He's got some opportunities coming his way. I've heard on the grapevine that maybe Brad Ray wants to fight him as well for the British, even though he's won the European. That's a title he wouldn't. This is so important to Louis to win here. There's a lot on the line for him.
The light heavyweight division is absolutely jam-packed with talent. I've got an interest in a young fighter called Carl Davis, who's 10-0, and he's really good, and he's sparred with most of them, and just talking to him about like the likes of Ben Whittaker and Callum Simpson at super middle, who's going to go up one day, and Dan Aziz and all these guys, and they're not the ones that have got the titles. I mean, Brad Ray and Louis Edmondson, and of course at the higher level you've got the Bivels, the Vitebievs, the Callum Smiths. It's just a fun. Joshua Buatsi, a phenomenal division to be in. I saw Louis' last fight down in Bournemouth. Obviously he beat Dan Aziz, and then he beat another undefeated fighter, and he's got a good dual British and Commonwealth title fights, championships behind him. But this is a big fight for him. He's in with a really talented guy who obviously the Usyk team are backing 100%. So it's an interesting encounter, and that's what we want to see. We want to see fights where we don't know who's going to win. He comes in as an underdog, but in many ways he's done more than Daniel Lapin in terms of his professional career. I think we're going to be kicked out of here in a minute.
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green, you're not Mr. Green.
I don't
so
think
you can't
so.
go yet.
I don't think so. I can't get quite yet.
One more, and before we get kicked out, or you're going to your suite that they've put here for you.
Who is Mr. Green? Is that a pseudonym?
I think that might be Get Out.
Okay.
Lawrence Okoli.
Yes.
Up at heavyweight.
Yes.
Big fight, and he's looking strong under Joe Gallagher's guidance.
He is. Joe Gallagher's a wonderful trainer. Obviously going through a difficult personal time, and he's an amazing fighter, Joe, and an amazing coach and an incredible human being. And what he's done with his stable over the years has just been outstanding, beyond what sort of Phil Martin coached in Champs Camp. We love what he's done up there. And I think Lawrence has made a great move to go to him, and he's looking fantastic underneath him. I think he's going to be a big threat at heavyweight. I've always thought that. I don't know how he packed his frame into cruiserweight. It's a long time coming, and now he gets his opportunity on the big stage.
Yep.
He won't like me saying it, but he stunk the place out against Matty Askin a few years ago at the stadium on the AJ Povetkin night. But I don't think he will here. I think Lawrence will box really well. I think Kevin Loren is the right sort of fighter. World champion himself. My bag is just being brought here. It is mine, thank you. Thank you very much. It's all right, thank you. Just my stuff.
We are pushing it now, aren't we?
I know. I haven't even been over there in the last hour and a half. But yeah, no. I think Lawrence is. It's a big night for him. He seems calm. He seems ready. He knows he's got to perform. He's had the accusation of the style, and I think under Joe, I think he's looking more impressive. He's got power to really make a difference at heavyweight. He's got that awkward reach and the height, and he needs a big performance. And I think Kevin Lorena is going to be dangerous early, as he was against Dubois. He hits hard. He shuts his Hooney fat out as well. But I think Lawrence take his time, get his range right. I think he'll do a job on Lorena. I think he'll be very impressive on Saturday. I think so.
Be a super night Saturday night, won't it?
I think it will be.
Finally, your podcast going from strength to strength. Anything coming up soon that you can tell us about?
Yeah, the Voice of Boxing. Really enjoying it in partnership with Loungers and Undisputed as well now, which is really good. Andy Levada and I are out in New York. We're doing a lot of short form content at the moment. We're getting around the fans, the fighters. We're enjoying it. So, look, anything's coming up, I don't know. We're just going to see what comes. We're very organic these days, and we had a really good time in New York, and it was great to seeing Katie Taylor perform so amazingly. Great seeing the Hamza Shiraz demonstrate a demolition job on Edgar Berlanga. And also Shakur Stevenson was fantastic. So lots of different content. We're trying to get in and amongst the fans, make it a bit different. But follow us on the Voice of Boxing, and always appreciate that.
Well, listen, we always appreciate your time. We're going to get chucked out, so I better let you go, Adam. But great to see you as always, and keep well.
Cheers, thank you.